Maybe you've noticed it too. You're still getting erections, but they don't feel the same, softer, less reliable, like your body isn't fully on board anymore. And when you do finish, something's missing. The release doesn't hit like it used to. Pleasure feels dulled, rushed, faint. You might chalk it up to age, tell yourself, this is just how it goes. But there's a small voice in the back of your head that wonders, is this a warning sign? Am I slipping? And maybe you don't bring it up with your doctor or your partner or anyone, but you think about it more than you want to admit. Here's what no one tells you. It might not be aging. It might be how you're masturbating. There are a few common habits that most older men pick up without even realizing it. And over time, they silently numb your response. Let's talk about those. Most of us don't talk about this stuff, not with our doctor, not with our friends, sometimes not even with the woman we love. And it's not because we don't notice the changes. We do. The slower response, the softer erections, the sense that pleasure isn't what it used to be. It hits quietly, over months, maybe years, until one day it's just part of the background. And so we adjust. We lower expectations. We stop initiating. We convince ourselves this is just part of getting older. But deep down, it stings. Not because sex is everything, but because it's a part of who we are. The ability to feel, to connect, to enjoy our own body, that matters more than most people realize. Here's the thing no one tells you. A lot of what feels like just aging is actually a buildup of habits, small private ones, that were never meant to last this long. They were fine when we were younger, but now they're quietly working against us. That's what this video is about. Not shame, not blame, just clarity. Because once you understand why this is happening, you can actually do something about it. Let's take a breath and be honest about something most men never say out loud. This isn't just about the penis. You already know that. You've felt it in the quiet moments when things don't work like they used to. It's not just a mechanical issue. It's not just blood flow. It's connection between your brain, your body, your emotions, and yes, your habits. See, an erection isn't a light switch. It's more like a conversation between parts of you that are supposed to be working together. Your nervous system, your hormones, your blood vessels, your mind, and when those parts stop listening to each other or start speaking in different languages, things don't respond the way they used to. For most men, that disconnection builds slowly. A little more stress, a little less sleep, a few extra drinks, and over time, we get used to checking out mentally, emotionally, even when we're alone. That's where the habits come in. When masturbation becomes mechanical, fast, distracted, and goal-driven, your body learns that pattern. You stop engaging with sensation. You stop being present. You teach your body to go through the motions without really feeling much. And the body remembers what you repeat. So over time, it starts dialing things down. Less sensitivity, less arousal, less pleasure. Not because you're broken, but because your system's been trained to disconnect. This is the part no one talks about, because it sounds strange, even soft. The idea that being present, connected, even emotionally engaged matters, but it does. You don't need to become someone new. You just need to reconnect with what's already there, because the wiring still exists. It's just a little dusty. And here's the good news. The same way habits can dull your response, new habits can rebuild it, slowly, gently, on your terms. This isn't about performing, it's about feeling. And when you begin to shift how you engage, even alone, your body starts to wake up again. That's the real fix. Not a pill, not a product, just learning to listen again and letting your body remember how to respond. Here's the thing about weaker erections. They don't stay in the bedroom. It might start there, a night where things didn't go as planned or where you couldn't even get started. You shrug it off, blame stress, age, maybe what you ate, But then it happens again and again. You stop reaching out, stop initiating, not because you don't want to, but because the fear of failure weighs heavier than the hope of connection. And that weight, it doesn't go away in the morning. It follows you into your energy, your focus, your mood. You're a little more irritable, a little more tired. Sleep doesn't refresh you the way it used to. You feel less sharp, not just in your body, but in your confidence. That quiet belief in yourself, it gets chipped away. Not all at once, but gradually, silently. And here's the hard part. Most men don't connect the dots. They don't realize how much this one part of life, sexual function, is tied to how we carry ourselves in the world. Because when your body doesn't respond like it used to, it can start to feel like you're fading, like a part of you is slipping through your fingers, and that creates anxiety. Not the obvious kind, not panic or outbursts, but a low, constant hum. You second-guess yourself more. You pull back, you disconnect from others and from yourself. This is what no one talks about. It's not just about performance. It's about identity, about feeling like a man, in your body, in your mind, in your presence. But here's what matters most. This isn't the end of the story. These changes, they're not permanent. They're not some final chapter you just have to accept. They're signals, warnings, and once you see them for what they are, you can start doing something about them. Small steps, simple shifts. But first, you have to see that what's happening isn't just about sex. It's about you, the whole you, and you deserve to feel fully alive again. Most men don't realize they're doing anything wrong. And to be honest, it's not really wrong. It's just unconscious, repetitive, something that started when you were younger and quietly followed you into older age without anyone stopping to ask if it still works for the man you are now. Let's start with the first one. Rushing, you're tired, you've got 5 minutes. So you get it done quickly. Fast, goal-focused, mechanical. No connection to sensation, no slow build, just get in, get out. But your body learns from what you repeat. If you train it to treat pleasure like a task, to finish before you're really engaged, it starts showing up that way in real moments too. Disconnected, number unresponsive. Now look, no judgment. Most of us have used it. But over time, high stimulus images on a screen condition your brain to crave fantasy over reality. What used to excite you naturally, a touch, a glance, the warmth of skin, starts to feel flat. It's not that you've lost desire, it's that your brain's been hijacked. Real intimacy becomes too quiet in comparison. And finally, the one no one talks about, pressure. Even when you're alone, you might be trying to perform, trying to force an erection, trying to prove something to yourself, trying not to fail. That internal pressure creates tension, and tension kills arousal. Your body can't relax into pleasure when your mind is in a wrestling match. None of this makes you broken. These aren't personal failures, they're just habits that made sense once, but don't serve you now. The good news? You can unlearn them. You can retrain your body to feel again, to respond, to enjoy, to stay present. But first, you have to notice the patterns. You have to give yourself permission to slow down, to let go of the old rules, and to understand this isn't about fixing you. It's about coming back home to your body and giving it what it actually needs at this stage of life. You're not too far gone. You've just been practicing the wrong things, and practice can always be changed. Because this isn't about blaming yourself or giving up. It's about giving your body a fair chance to relearn what it may have forgotten. Not because you're broken, but because most of us were never taught how to stay connected as we age. So here's where it starts. Slow down. For years, maybe decades, you've trained your body to go fast. Get in, get out, get it done. That worked in your 20s, But now, that rush trains your nervous system to expect speed, not depth. It's like trying to listen to a song on fast forward. The notes are there, but the feeling's gone. Instead, pause. Turn off the screen, really. Porn floods your brain with dopamine, but it disconnects you from your body. Over time, it creates a gap. You feel less from real touch, because your brain expects constant novelty to feel anything at all. So unplug for a bit, just for a few days at first, and when you touch yourself, don't chase the finish line. Instead of focusing on the goal, erection, orgasm, performance, focus on presence, breath, sensation, curiosity, what actually feels good, even if it's subtle. What happens when you take the pressure off and just explore? It may feel awkward at first, slower, less intense. That's okay. You're not failing, you're retraining. This isn't about discipline or control. It's about reconnection. When you stop rushing, your body starts remembering. Pleasure deepens, erections improve, confidence builds, not from magic, but from honest, consistent rewiring. And no, this doesn't mean you'll never use porn again, or that you have to be some perfect version of yourself. This is about giving yourself permission to relearn, to slow down, to feel more. Small changes, real attention, that's what actually works. And over time, those little shifts, they don't just change your sex life, they change how you feel in your skin. More grounded, more responsive, more you. There's a moment that happens, not all at once, but slowly, when you begin to feel like yourself again. Not the version of you who was chasing performance, worried if he was working right, caught in the spiral of comparison and self-doubt. But the version of you who feels grounded, calm, quietly strong. Because when you start reconnecting with your body, really paying attention, not rushing, not numbing, things begin to shift. Your erections, they come back stronger, but more importantly, you come back stronger. The pressure fades, the second guessing quiets down, and in its place, you find presence, the ability to enjoy a moment without trying to control it. And that spills over into more than just the bedroom. You stand differently, speak with a little more confidence, you're less reactive, more steady. There's a calm power that shows up when you're not secretly worrying if something's broken inside you. Because now you know your body isn't broken, even when something doesn't feel right. But here's the truth. You don't have to hold this alone. You're not broken, you're not behind, and you're certainly not done. This part of your life, your body, your pleasure, your confidence, it's still yours. And yes, it's changed. But change isn't the same as loss. What you've felt lately, the slower response, the quiet frustration, the creeping self-doubt, it makes sense. No one prepared you for this chapter. No one told you that some of the things we've done for years, the habits we thought were harmless, can start working against us over time. But now you see it. And that changes everything. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to fix it all by next week. You just need to begin with presence, with patience, with the belief that your body still knows how to feel good. Because it does. It's waiting. It remembers. And every small choice you make from here, every time you slow down, pay attention, stay with yourself, you're reminding it. You're building trust again. So take a breath. Stand a little taller. This is your next chapter. And you're not walking into it alone. It just needed better communication, less pressure, more patience. And here's the best part. When you stop performing for pleasure and start allowing yourself to feel pleasure again, it's better, deeper, richer, less about the finish line, more about the connection, whether it's with your partner or with yourself. That kind of change doesn't come from a pill. It comes from a shift. In awareness, in habits, in how you treat your own body. And yeah, it takes a little time. You'll have off days, moments where it feels like you're slipping back. But even then, you'll know the way forward now. You won't panic. You'll breathe, adjust, keep going. And over time, you'll realize You're not just harder, you're calmer. You're not chasing control, you're living from it. And that, my friend, changes everything. Maybe you've been carrying this in silence, not out of weakness, but because that's what men do. We grit our teeth, we adjust, we keep moving.